Week 4 of the RQA Draft League is here, and I am changing things up a bit. This week, our opponent is going to be the Jigglypuff Johnsons, who are actually only 1-1, while we are 1-2. The Jigglypuff Johnsons took a forfeit from all the way back in Week 1. There was actually an issue with scheduling for their opponent. Their opponent disappeared from the league, and the Jigglypuff Johnsons had no way to... They couldn't find time to make up that game. I don't know how that's going to go into the standings, but we are 1-2. They are 1-1, and as you can see by their team, it is pretty strong. They will obviously be running Darkrai. There's no way they don't bring that. And then against our team, I mean, Landorus is a lock. We have a lot of weakness to ground types, and therefore we will also be bringing Glastrier this week. Our Chaludon is a terrifying Pokemon to go up against. It has massive defense, decent all-around stats, but then it has the ability that raises its defense even more every time it takes damage, which is just crazy. Mousehold is interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mousehold this week just because it does have the Tidy Up attack, which will not only remove our hazards, but also boost its speed. Annihilate, another scary Pokemon. I mean, this team is pretty strong top to bottom. I'm actually surprised our Chaludon isn't higher points, like higher draft points, because it is pretty scary. Knucklestack is a sneaky little 3-point Terra type with the Water, Fairy, Rock. It does have Salt Cure, and it cannot be poisoned or burned or anything like that, so a lot to look out for. But yeah, I watched the first couple of matchups by this person. Both times he led off with Darkrai, so depending on what he brings, we might want to plan for that again. So let's take a look at the squad. This week I actually rotated between a couple of team configurations, landing on this one, RQA Week 4B, as you can see. We will be leading with, or not leading the battle with, but first off we have Jeff, the Walking Wake, with a Life Orb. I need to do Life Orb instead of any of the choice specs or anything because I need the flexibility to switch between Hydro Steam, Flamethrower, Dragon Pulse, and maybe even Snarl, depending on if he brings in that Archaludon or something and I need to try to live a hit. Obviously Dragon Pulse we would use against Archaludon as well. Flamethrower is a potential option, but yeah, this is what we're looking at here. Then we're going to bring Fettuccine. It is the first week we have Fettuccine, the Sandy Shocks, on our team. I needed to lean a little bit more into the Fire, Weather, Sunny team where Sandy Shocks does get a photosynthesis boost. It is going to hold Choice Scarf. It does not have a ton of speed investment, but with the Choice Scarf, it will outspeed anything else on his team as long as they do not carry Choice Scarf as well. Then we're going to have Bochak, the Glastrier, which is massively defensive and special defensive this week. We are going to be going for the Avalanche, Body Press, Protect, and Curse set. Curse raises both its attack and defense, which makes Body Press incredibly useful, as well as Avalanche useful. We're going Terra-type Ground, which is really more just for defense, not for attacking purposes. As you can see, I did not bring Terra Blast or High Horsepower. And with the leftovers, Protect allows us to gain a little HP back while we're raising our defenses. We then have I Like Turtles. I think this might be the first week I am bringing Torkoal. Torkoal is here for two specific reasons. One is to set up the sun for us. I plan to lead Torkoal. There is almost no team configuration where I wouldn't plan to lead Torkoal this week against him. We're going max HP and a close to max special attack. What Torkoal's purpose will be is we bring it in, it gets the drought going, it has a Lumberry for any Hypnosis by Darkrai, and then we Overheat. Overheat does one-shot Darkrai. He did bring a Focus Sash in his prior battles with Darkrai, but that is okay because even if he Focus Sashes, we have one attack guaranteed from that Lumberry, and then we can decide to hope for a miss, switch out. I think we live probably... I know we live one hit through a Darkrai Dark Pulse, but we'll just have to figure out what we're going to do with that. Either way, it's leading off, it's getting the drought going, and it is overheating. Then I have the typical pivot this week with Baneful Bunker, Toxic, Pain Split, and Toxic Spikes. Depending on who he brings, I definitely needed Toxapex. It has Rocky Helmet, so that if he brings Mousehold and goes for a Population Bomb, it'll take itself out, and we will still live with Toxapex in about half health. Max defense on that with a lot of HP, and enough special defense to live one hit from almost every one of his Pokemon. The big fear would be, again, that Landorus, but we have the Baneful Bunker, the Pain Split. If Landorus comes in, unless it is max attack with a Choice Band, we live one Earthquake. So if we end up with Toxapex at full health against Landorus at full health, I need to click Pain Split. We'll go second, and we'll split that damage and probably go back up to full health. And then last, we have the cleanup I Hardly Know Her, the Sneasler, with a normal gem. What Sneasler does this week is it comes in, it fakes out, gets about 1/8 to 1/4 health of damage on the opposing Pokemon. It then gets that normal gem's Unburden power up to make it the fastest Pokemon in the game. Then we Dire Claw, Shadow Claw, and Close Combat our way through everybody. So I brought Shadow Claw this week because we may need to use that against the Annihilape. Annihilape is a terrifying Pokemon. If you don't take it out quickly, it can set up, it can use Rage Fist. It's really scary. So yeah, that's what we're rolling in with this week. I have planned and prepped extensively, so now I just need to execute. Let's get to the battle. I will be doing a post-mortem narration instead, so I'm not going to talk during the battle because I want to make sure I'm focused. But yeah, enjoy. Alright, and here we go with the battle. Again, narrating after the fact. As planned, I am leading off with Torkoal. It looks like he brought the same exact team as he's brought in the last two matchups that I witnessed. I didn't plan a ton for that Rotom, but I did bring the Power Gem on Sandy Shocks just in case. I'm not super worried about it. Usually Rotoms come in... Ooh, okay, and then, yeah, I forgot. So I forgot first turn, he actually missed a Hypnosis, and then I hit that Overheat. He did bring the Focus Sash as expected, but now because he missed Hypnosis, I have a chance for a Rapid Spin to finish off Darkrai with a Torkoal, which is excellent. We have the Sun up now, so if I need to switch in, I can do that. But yeah, he doesn't know, hopefully, that I'm carrying the Lumberry, therefore he'll go for Hypnosis again. Even if he goes for Dark Pulse here, I am confident we are taking Darkrai out. If he switches, that would be the only concern. We hit anything with Rapid Spin other than that Annihilape. If he switches into Annihilape, we will have to get out of there ASAP. Actually, we could throw the Will-O-Wisp out, but... And there we go. He did do the Hypnosis, and then I Rapid Spin, and just like that, Darkrai is down. That was a big threat, taken care of. So far, so good. Things are going as planned. And now, I did expect him to go with either Landorus here or Annihilape. I do know we can take a Landorus hit. I almost hoped for a Landorus at this point because I wanted to get a Will-O-Wisp off on him. But as you can see, he does some thinking about this. I know with Will-O-Wisp, we do have the Stealth Rock I could set up. There's a lot we can do. You know, it's just waiting and seeing what he's going to do. Worst case scenario would probably be the Knuckle Stack because then he can start damaging us. But it's just a matter of, does he want me to continue setting up and damaging his random Pokemon, or is he planning to take me out with one shot? It's really up to him. Not sure if he was doing some calcs here or what. But yeah, I sat and I was feeling pretty good so far. Turn one, we're where we want to be. And he does go into the Rotom Heat, which is not what I wanted. But I know it can't take us out in one shot. I'm wondering if it's going to Thunder Wave me to try to keep me from attacking. I did go ahead and decide to put down my Stealth Rocks just for future switching that he might do. Rotom itself doesn't get... Actually, yeah, it does get damaged by Stealth Rock, sorry. Everything gets damaged by Stealth Rock. He does go for the Volt Switch, so that chips away some of the damage on I Like Turtles and immediately switches him out. The switch isn't a huge deal because we are just going for Stealth Rock. However, taking half that damage, that does turn out to be valuable. We don't want to lose half our health to a Rotom, and knowing it has Volt Switch is good to know because now I'm expecting it to have probably Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave, Volt Switch, and one other attack. I'm not really sure of the Rotom set. I don't know if this is the same team he has brought every single week exactly with the same EV-IV spread and everything, or if he's using the same Pokemon with some different adjustments for our matchup. I really don't know at this point. It's only the third week of the season. Well, it's the fourth week of the season, but I only have 2 matches to go off of for what he's done. And then comes in the Annihilape on our Stealth Rocks. This isn't something I'm very happy about. I go immediately for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm not worried about him switching again. He clearly planned to bring Annihilape in here. And I do worry about a setup on Annihilape, so I immediately want to get that Will-O-Wisp damage off. I know Annihilape could actually bring Rest. He brought Rest in other matchups. But as long as we can burn him keep us from taking too much damage off the jump, then I should be able to use Will-O-Wisp, switch off of Torkoal, and go into either Glassdryer or even Sneasler, because we can get the Shadow Claw with Sneasler. I would like to wait, if possible, on using Sneasler until I can use Fake Out and get that Unburden boost. Although now that Darkrai is out of the game, we don't have to worry so much about the speed aspect, so that is good. And he does immediately go for the Bulk Up, which is terrifying to see. I do get the Burn Off, which protects us at least for a little while. Of course, burning does cause them to lose half their attack. But now I'm pretty much thinking about who do I switch into. I know Fighting is good against Ice, but that's why we brought Bojack with the Ground Terra. I also consider Toxapex here, just thinking I could get some chip damage on him before he's able to set up more. But thinking, oh, if he continues to set up instead of going for like a Drain Punch or something, I should really just do the switch in. And he does bulk up, which now he's ×2 attack and defense. Bojack, of course, our only way of hitting him is Avalanche, but we need to really start boosting our own attack, so I just start going into my own curses to get attack and defense up on our side. Bojack is so bulky, I know that even though he's ahead of us in his attack and defense bulking, that we will take any hit he throws at us. The only concern is once he does rest up and get that burn off, assuming he did bring rest, he will be basically 4 times attack, 4 times defense. We need to be at that point as well so that it becomes an even playing field. So once again, I choose Curse. He's still thinking about it. He's clearly thinking hard and long about his moves. I don't know if he's, like I said, calcing in the middle. Very possible. It's really hard to know, and again, being my first draft league, it's hard to know the skill level of different people, what they're doing in the middle of the matchup. I did a lot of calcs beforehand, so I am less concerned with doing any of those calcs, and he does go straight for the bulk up. This is where I immediately decide, you know what? We got a Curse as well. We have to just boost, and we will wait him out, and it's just a waiting game here. I go Curse for a second time. He, of course, is going to go bulk up again, knowing that, having seen my Curse, and knowing that he has the burn to deal with. I, of course, am just looking back and forth to see health amounts and everything. There's the bulk up on his side. There's the Curse on my side. I am pretty much set at this point. I am guaranteeing I'm just going to go Curse over and over and over and over, because I do not want him to be ahead of me in attack or defense, which he is right now, but he won't be because of the burn, or once he rests, that gives us a turn to catch up to him. So yeah, a little boring at this point. I'm not fast forwarding anything though. I want you to see exactly what happens. Again, he's thinking long and hard. I don't think he's wondering about switching in here. I think he knows if he switches and loses that attack and defense boost on Annihilape, he gets put in a very, very poor position, especially with Stealth Rocks up to chip away more at Annihilape. Even if he's able to rest later in the game, he loses those boosts that he spent so many turns trying to get. Meanwhile, I've only boosted twice. He has boosted, I believe, 4 times at this point. And there's his 5th boost, and then here comes our 3rd boost. So once again, he's at 3.5, I'm at 2.5. He takes the burn damage, and so we continue on. I hit Curse again. I am dead set on getting to +6 on attack and defense, hoping maybe, just maybe, Bojack can sweep the rest of this if we can take care of Annihilape. It's just, again, a waiting game. Waiting for the opponent to decide, is he going to attack here and start getting his health back? He might now Drain Punch. But no, he goes for the bulk up again, and now he is max attack and defense. I am at +4 attack and defense. And I do it again, and there he has the rest and the berry. So he uses a turn to get his health back. We use a turn to close the gap. I am now +5. And now I'm just 1 away from the +6. And he goes for the Drain Punch, and to my joy, we only lose 27% health. With our leftovers, we go back up to 79%, and now I know he's doing even less damage moving forward. So we're both max, 4 times attack, 4 times defense, and this is a big turn in the game. I go for Curse again. I lost count of how maxed I was. All I did was just, yeah, the big mistake on my part. This is going to come back to bite me. I make the mistake of going for a 7th Curse. I should have counted the turns. In the chat, there's even comments on, well, this is something. I feel really dumb. I'm able to get the Protect off to get some health back, but yeah, I wasted a turn I could have been attacking. He goes for the Drain Punch once again. Now I go for the Avalanche, and I find that I am doing half his health. I pretty much knock him out on the next turn. He will get some health back after he hurts me, but I can Protect to get over 50% once again. And now, depending on how much he gets back, he gets up to 55, exactly the amount I dealt the first time. And bam, Annihilape's taken care of. The Chilling Neigh doesn't matter for us because we already have the max attack, and I wasted that turn. Good thing is, it didn't get me killed by Annihilape. Annihilape's down. I am up. Max attack, max defense, a lot of EV investment in special defense, and I'm feeling really good about myself now. I think this is a point in the match where I start to get a little overconfident. I planned so well for everything. He brings in Rotom, and I'm thinking I'm going to one-shot this thing with a body press after getting, again, some health back. He goes for the Overheat. I've seen the Overheat. Now, for some dumb reason here, I don't calc it, and I get killed by Rotom. Dumb decision on my part. Glastrier is hugely important, especially for taking out Landorus, and I just let him die just because I am overconfident and I click attack, thinking I'm invincible. That Rotom Overheat is super powerful. I don't know its EV spread, but it doesn't really matter at that low of health. I should have been more aware of that. So now I'm coming into Toxic Pex thinking, oh my god, I need to, I lost Glastrier, I need to set up for this Landorus. And this is where things go a little bit off the rails, because as you see, I go for the Toxic Spikes. Well, I didn't think about that before clicking. I'm just so pre-programmed into setting up my hazards, which is so dumb. I should have looked at who he had left. Toxic Spikes is most effective against his Darkrai and his Annihilape. Rotom, which has Levitate, does not get affected by Toxic Spikes, so when he goes for the Volt Switch, I lay down the Toxic Spikes after he brings in a Pokemon. Again, he gets hurt by the Stealth Rock, I get a Toxic Spikes down. I still have not realized Knucklestack's not going to get hurt by any Toxic Spike if it switches out and back in because of its ability. Archaludon is a Steel type. It cannot get hurt by the Toxic Spikes. Levitating Rotom does not get hurt by Toxic Spikes. Thundurus is Flying type, does not get hurt by Toxic Spikes. So I have now spent 2 turns throwing down Toxic Spikes on Pokemon that cannot get Toxic Spiked. That is now 3 turns I have wasted this game between the Curse and the 2 Toxic Spikes. I am an idiot, and I fully acknowledge that. If I had switched out Toxapex or just gone for Pain Splits a turn earlier or 2 turns earlier, I am in a much better position. Torkoal comes in, it's now getting hurt by the Salt Cures. I overheat the Knucklestack to try and start bringing it down. And then I switch into Fettuccine thinking, okay, a Volt Switch should take the rest of this thing out. Naturally, it does not, and now I am just getting, I don't know why I'm so anxious at this point. I know he's going to switch, and I go for the safe play thinking safe for me is Volt Switch. If he switches, so what, I miss an attack, if not, whatever. But now I'm in with Fettuccine against a Landorus, and I no longer have Glastrier to switch into, which was my initial plan going into this battle. In hindsight, the actual safe play would have been going for a Power Gem or something just to get a little chip damage. Bottom line, having the Volt Switch kept me from being able to switch out. I now go into the Toxapex, hoping to take an Earthquake. I do not take an Earthquake. Again, I calced this ahead of time. He is max attack. He doesn't take us out unless he is max attack, but he is. And now I know that, and now I'm a little fearful. At this point, I kind of need the Sun Up. I need to one-shot that Landorus if I can. So that's why I bring in Torkoal here. Again, I'm planning, if I get lucky, he switches to something else and I get a Will-O-Wisp on that Archaludon or something. I'm really thinking I'm sacking Torkoal. He's going to Earthquake, and he does. I'm also wondering if this is a Choice Banded or Choice Scarfed Landorus at this point, because he is going Earthquake over and over. He immediately switches off when I go to Jeff, and I go for the Hydro Steam. That was not a big deal to me. I did figure he would probably switch out once he saw Jeff, knowing I outspeed and one-shot in the sun. Getting that damage on the Knucklestack, again, kind of a free kill. I'm going to outspeed the Knucklestack. And I'm still feeling like I have a decent shot, you know? It's about this point in the battle I realized my idiotic mistake, and I noticed I did not bring the Toxic Spikes. And then comes in Archaludon with the Draco Meteor, which takes out Walking Wake, which I also needed to take out Landorus, and now I have no counter for that Landorus. And this is where I'm panicking now, because my plan, I made the perfect plan, yet my brain getting overexcited in the middle of the battle, my plan goes out the window. Fettuccine comes in. It's great to use Earth Power to take out the Archaludon, but now I am Choice Scarfed into a move that I cannot kill with. I have to let Fettuccine go down because he does not have a way to take out Landorus, and I need to get safely into I hardly know where for the fake out. I fake out, I get the flinch, Landorus is down to 49 health. I am hoping Close Combat takes it out here. It does not. I lose this battle right here. Landorus finishes me off at 7% health. If I can take out that Landorus, I think I get through the Rotom because I outspeed it, and I can use either Dire Claw or Shadow Claw on that thing. But overall, again, this has been the story of my Draft League experiences so far. Obviously not super surprising since I am new to Draft Leagues, but I plan so extensively for these battles, and then when the battle comes, I just lose my head. I don't know why, I don't know what I'm thinking. I needed either Glass Dryer or Hydro Steaming Walking Wake, and I let them both die. I should not have done that. That was not intelligent, and I lose a battle because of it, now putting myself in a really, really poor situation. I am 1-3 at -8 on the season. I pretty much need to win out at this point, I think, to make the playoffs. There's a chance a team at 4-4 makes it, but with my -8, I don't know how lucky or how possible that's going to be for me. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'm not going to get too down on myself because, again, it is my first Draft League. I don't know if it's just because the showdown clicking is so easy and quick. The battle happens so quick that I think ahead and I don't take the time that I'm given. I have time to calc things and to make sure I'm making the right choices, but I get overly excited and I lose for it. And that's pretty much the story of Draft League so far for me. Of course, I do have my DDL League, which I do actually prefer my team in that league a bit more. And we do have another whole half of a season for this league. So thank you all for watching. Feel free to let me know how dumb I am in the comments. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe. You know the drill. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.